Hey there, Willowbrook, and thanks so much for doing our Daily Devo. Today we are in Genesis chapter 29, verses 21 through 35. Now, if you've read the scripture before you're watching this video, I'm gonna guess, because at least it happened to me, that maybe you had an emotional response to what has just happened in this passage, because an injustice has happened. Jacob has worked 7 years to get to marry the woman he loved, Rachel. 7 years, can you think, how romantic is that? He's labored so that he can make Rachel his wife. But when it comes to the end of the 7 years and they get to the time that they're getting married, the bride gets swapped. The father-in-law, he swaps one sister for another. And the woman that Jacob has worked 7 years to marry turns out not to be his wife. The wrong sister. And it's on purpose. The father-in-law purposely tricked him. And you know what his response was? Hey, you can still have Rachel too. Just let's tack on another 7 years. Are you kidding me? That's not fair. If you are reading that and you are moved by the injustice that's just happened there, you would be right to feel that way because it's wrong. It's deception. And so as we read scripture and we come across passages like this, we have to ask the question, God, what do you want me to learn here? What can I learn about you here? And an injustice has been done, but don't feel too bad for Jacob. He was wronged for sure, but don't forget that Jacob has been the deceiver. You remember that he deceived his brother of his birthright? He deceived his blind father by pretending to be his older brother. Jacob has been the deceiver. And now he is being deceived. What do we learn about God here? Here's what I think we learn, because what I don't want us to miss is the reality that part of the character of God is that we serve a gracious God. He is full of grace towards you. In fact, so much so that we get so much more than we deserve. We get so many blessings. We get purpose in our life. We get to enjoy so many things because God has given to us freedom that we can walk in, being unconditionally loved. And we also serve a merciful God, a God that has held back from us things that we so much deserve, like death and separation from Him. We serve a God who that is very much part of His character. But sometimes we stop there. And this is what I don't want us to miss about the character of God in this passage. In Galatians chapter 6, verse 7, it says this, do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Is God gracious? Yes, He is. Is God merciful? Oh, yes, He is. But do not be deceived. God is gracious and He is merciful, but He cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Jacob is reaping some of the consequences of what he has sown in his life. It does not change the character of who God is. This is part of it, is that God cannot be mocked. And that a truth here is that many of us sow things in our life and we're shocked by what we reap. We shouldn't be. It's scriptural, and it's what we see in this passage with Jacob. But for you today, what are you sowing in your life right now? Are you sowing what you want to reap later? Can I just challenge you to let God reveal to you maybe some things that you're sowing maybe you didn't even realize you were. His mercy and His grace towards you says that He wants to show you those things, not to condemn you or shame you, but to help you to protect you. Do not be deceived. God can't be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Let God show you some things maybe that you're sowing in your life that you're not going to want to reap. And then make sure that you are sowing into your life things that you are going to want to reap later. God is a good, merciful, gracious God, and he gives us the truth of his word to give us the opportunity to enjoy everything that he has for you. Oh, Willowbrook, I love you. I hope that you'll have a happy Wednesday.